Just kind of given how many runs there were on both sides, ups and downs, great play and some difficult play. How do you kind of unpack everything that happened tonight, or do you just go home and think we won and that's really all that matters?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, but we definitely have room for improvement, obviously. It was kind of like who sucks the least is going to win the game tonight. We suck the least by not much. So I think our defense was really good, though, so that's really encouraging. We have a lot of stuff to clean up on offense, and I think it's just chemistry a little bit, like getting to know so many new people and what they like to do, reading their tendencies. I think a lot of our turnovers kind of came from that. We had so many turnovers, so that's something we really need to get better at. But I was really proud of our defense. When our offense failed us, our defense didn't, and it really picked up. So I thought we did really good on that end.
This is a question for both of you guys. Both of you guys had chances to kind of win this game at the free throw line in the first overtime and in regulation. And something like that could, people could hang their heads after something like that. I mean, how cool is it that you were able to kind of come back and get redemption for that on the same night that it happened?
I mean, there's a lot of trust here, and as we continue to move in with all these new players and new faces, obviously that's not what we want to do. We don't want to miss, but there's so much trust in our fight and our will to win, especially the home opener against the team we just played against. Sometimes things happen. We're human. We understand that, but getting to the next play, I mean, Cheryl didn't really even say anything to either of us. She was just like, win the game, keep playing, and I think that we have a lot of trust in that and in who we are and who we've been for this team. So, it sucks. Obviously, we want to close it out, but I was just really proud of how we continued to fight because that's building our identity too. When things don't go our way, when things, we want to just finish the game. I apologize to the team. I'm like, man, I'm sorry, guys. Having to go into overtime, that sucks. But I think that it's just there's, like Fee said, there's a lot of room for improvement, and hopefully next time we have the chance, we'll finish it.
And I think too, we're both the type of players that when that happened, we take a lot of that burden, obviously. So for me, and I think for Mac too, it made me fight even harder because I'm like, if we lose this game, it's really on my shoulders. It's a free throw.
Yeah.
So it makes you fight even harder. You always want to win, but especially when you feel that responsibility where the game was on the line and you could have won it for your team, you want to do everything in your power to get that second chance. And the team, like Mac said, had our back where we were afforded another opportunity, so we didn't want to waste it when we got that.
Yeah, for both of you, winning at home last year was a challenge. It was really difficult. What does it say about this team that with everything that went on and all the turnovers and everything else, that you were able to find a way to be resilient and win this one?
I think it's just our toughness. I think our defense is way ahead of our offense in this moment, and that's kind of what we've been hanging our hat on these last two games at least. But it started in training camp, but I think our defense is something that we're really, anchored in, and I think it's so much farther ahead than I think it's been even since I've been a Lynx. At this point in the season, second game of the season, being able to rely on our defense, maybe when the offense isn't going well, there's 50 turnovers between both teams, So I think we're both trying to figure out offensively, but I think our defense is really what stood out. And so, obviously we want to win way more home games than we have in the past. That's what good teams do. So we want to be one of those.
Yeah, how much of a point of emphasis was this in training camp to be better at home than you were last year?
A lot. I've been telling everyone, we started on defense the very first day of training camp. And, especially as a Lynx, I think every team does, but we take so much pride in winning our home games. And for whatever reason, last year, we were way better on the road than at home. Our road record was way better. And when we're at home, our chant is our house. We have to protect our house. And so that's a really big emphasis. And I think we came out it was gritty. It was a really, really ugly game, but the collective will of this team, I think, is really great. There is a lot of times we could have hung our head. We could have potentially lost the game on free throws. We had so many turnovers. It's really easy to get frustrated in those moments, but we didn't. We had each other's backs. We picked each other up. No one was blaming anybody. Everyone was like, okay, I got you. I'm behind you. Next play. And I think that attitude is what's going to allow us to be really, really great this year because no one's blaming, no one's saying me, me, me. It's about the team. It's about whatever we need to do as a collective to win this game.
Fee, for you, what has it been like to play next to someone like Alana defensively? the two of you had 17 stocks tonight. What is it like to play next to someone that's as aggressive yet as disciplined as she is on that end of the floor?
It's really nice. It makes me miss Syl, because that's how it was with Syl. Just knowing that someone's going to have your back every time there. Dorka obviously did her best last year, but she was a rookie. Everything was new for her, so it was a bit of a learning curve sometimes. So to have that veteran presence more in LAN has been awesome. And it's going to be even better when Dorka comes back. So again, to have someone that has your back, and I know that if I get beat, she's behind me, or she knows what we're doing on defense and she's going to cover down. She's really smart that way. So it's just it feels like a safety net almost, where it takes the pressure off for a little bit because you know someone behind you is going to help you.
And then, Fee, for you, you went off in the fourth quarter in the first overtime, the second overtime. Just how much more helpful is it for you as an operator in the half court and late in games to have the added spacing that you guys have right now?
It's been really great. Especially with the pieces we added this year, we have so many offensive threats, so it really spreads the floor out, and everyone can knock down shots. Everyone can, as they did, I think at the end, we had so many people scoring in the second overtime in those last 3 quarters of the game. And so, yeah, I think it helps everybody. It gives everyone the shots that they want because you have to guard everybody true. You can't really, they did double, and once we figured out, we struggled a little bit in the beginning, but once we figured that out, we made them pay for it.
Kayla, year 11 for you.
Oh God.
From where you came from starting in this league to where you are now, being able to travel privately to all your games, hopefully for the rest of the season. Can you speak about what that means for you as players and how cool it is for you to see that now in year 11?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. I'm really glad that I'm still able to be in the league and be a part of it, but I also think about all the players that came before that didn't have the opportunity. I remember being on a back-to-back in San Antonio and having to stop, flying Southwest on a game day and having to stop, And we were doing the best we could, but being part of that trail blazing, and knowing that the players that came before you deserved it just as much as we did, but also knowing how far the game has come and being able to be a part of this next wave is a blessing. So I'm just really excited. Year 11, been through a lot in this league, so I'm just really proud of how far we've come as a group and as a league.
Fee, for you, you mentioned on Media Day how excited you were to work with Courtney Williams and have her on the team. I'm just wondering, how is that relationship developing? How's the pick and roll kind of actions developing on the court?
Yeah, it's really good. I think we're still trying to figure each other out sometimes. I think where we are right now has been great. We've had 3 weeks together, and Courtney's not in her true position either. So I think we're both learning what each other likes. We're talking a lot through things what she sees, what I see, what we can do to be better. I think where we're at is really great, and I'm excited to build that chemistry even more as the season goes on.
Gonna pivot to Zoom, start off with Christina.
Congrats on the win. My question is for Fee. Tonight, in addition to 29 points, you had a career high in steals. Can you just talk about your ability to stay aggressive and effective on both sides of the ball through double overtime and with having the 5 fouls?
Yeah, I think, I always give 100%. You have to be smart, especially because I had so many fouls. 5, I think, what did I get in the first overtime or fourth quarter, something like that? So just trying to be smart in that way. And again, I missed that free throw, so it gives you a little bit of extra fire under your butt to be really smart, play really smart, make sure I'm not out of the game and hurt the team more. Don't foul, just try to do what I can in order for us to win. It was such a gritty game. I think you're just really in the moment when it's happening and trying to fight. Everyone is exhausted, everything hurts. Everyone's tired, it's midnight. So I think just staying in it and just taking it one possession at a time.
And then we'll take one question from Brad and one question from Lucas.
Hi, ladies. How are you? Brad Lake, WBB Nation, WNBA Swish. Bridget had a monster evening, over 30 minutes off the bench. Can you speak to what her contributions were tonight, and also how's it feel seeing Issa getting all playing time?
Yeah, I mean, Bridge, we have so much trust in who she is for us. You know, being in the right spot, always taking her defensive assignments, knocking down shots, rebounding. She just plays really, really hard, and she fits right into our system. So we know what we're going to get from her. 30 minutes. You know, she actually helps me with the main guard a lot. I trust her a lot in being able to switch off and do things like that. But she's just always in the right spot. She helps us win games and does the little things. And then to see Liz, you know, have her moment and get her first bucket in WNBA, like not preseason, but you know, regular season. It was a cool moment. It was cool to hear the crowd go crazy, and you know, hopefully there's many more to come. So we were excited for her, and you know, hopefully she can get way more throughout her time in the league.
Thank you.
Lucas?
For both of you, 0-6 start to last season, 2-0 start to this season. How did that 0-6 start from last season change your approach to the start of this season?
We know what it feels like. I think the last 2 seasons, it was like 0-6.
It's been 0-4 and 0-6.
Yeah, which is probably why we started on defense the very first day of training camp. I mean, it sucks. Like, the beginning of the season doesn't determine how you finish. Obviously, I think we finished pretty well last year. But you want to start out on the right foot. You want to start out high like we are now so you can build upon that instead of starting, you know, from the bottom and trying to work your way up. And then it, you know, becomes a streak. Like, how many are you going to lose in a row? And I think, you know, so I'm really proud of, like, the effort that we've had, especially against such a good team. Like, this is, I think they were maybe top 3 in and we're 9 in seeding. They have a lot of really good players, but I said this in the locker room, that's a really good team, but so are we. Like, we're here this year to make some waves, and when we're locked in, we're so good. So I'm so excited.
Thanks, guys.